Hello and welcome to Rise Above 2K, the channel that's dedicated to all things NBA 2K. And believe it or not, today we actually have a 2K update. I'm Gex, as always, with the talent, Unicorn Big. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good, man. Just pumped for tomorrow, and the city's gonna be rocking, and let's go.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be a Spurs fan. This is not going to be your classic homerific, just talk about the Spurs the whole time. It's only going to be like 75%, maybe 80%, whatever. If you like the Spurs, you're in the right place. If you like the Knicks, I'm going to give you some love. Unicorn Big's not, but who we're definitely going to give love to is the sponsor of our podcast, Shotties. If you want a good jersey, you go to Shotties. His Instagram information is in the show notes wherever you're listening or watching this. It's in the show notes below. Unicorn Big, what kit are you wearing today from Shotties?
I am wearing this Tim Duncan 98.99 alternate jersey to match my Spurs Fiesta hat. This is a new purchase, which we bought in person from Shoddy.
A new purchase from an obscure 90s alternate. So this is what I always say. Every time I come on here, I say, get weird with it. Order the most obscure thing you can think of. Ask him to make it happen. Shotty's going to make it happen for you. I, just in time for the World Cup, I'm rocking my Christian Pulisic AC Milan. Go States go. This is going to be our home year in the World Cup. I'm so excited.
No, it's
But
not.
this isn't World Cup 2K. This is Rise Above 2K. We'll get World Cup at a later time after the Spurs either hoist a trophy or head on back to San Antonio. We'll get to that breakdown in a minute too. They did, however, hoist a trophy just the other night. Winners of the Western Conference Finals took out OKC in really nice fashion in Game 7. It really didn't feel like it was that much of a game. What are your takeaways from the series with the defending champions, OKC?
Well, it all begins and starts with one person, Bismack Biyombo.
Yeah, Biombo. You can't do better than that.
Look, I could go on and on about Wemby, but really, guys like Steph Castle, De'Aaron Fox,
Yep.
Devin Vassell, Julian
Luke Cornett.
Champagne. Luke Cornett, man, that block was killer.
That block is, it's going to live rent-free in my mind forever. It was incredible. And it was exactly at the time they needed it to say, no, this is done. We're done with you.
And you know what? Yeah, SGA had 35 points, but they wore him out. He had nothing left at the end. And, I think the Spurs have a good bench, but it's a thin bench. But their bench showed up, and we're watching Dylan Harper just grow and grow and grow and grow.
And I've never seen a player so afraid to hold or shoot the ball as Chet was in Game 7. Like, he knew that, like, he was not looking at his teammates with the ball because he didn't want the ball passed to him. I've never seen someone played out of their ability as hard as he was in that series.
Yeah.
Just shut down.
I think he had 4 points and 4 rebounds in Game 7.
Yeah. Just didn't exist. That is world-class defending by the Spurs to just shut him down that way. I'm so impressed with them, and we're going to talk about the big NBA finals coming up in a minute. And obviously a lot more Spurs talk. But first, you have an update from 2K, and it's been a minute since we've had one of those. What's going on in the world of 2K for the Unicorn Big?
So, I got bored and made a new build.
Again. I love it.
I don't even want to admit how much money I've spent on this game this year.
But Shotties is covering the jersey fund, so like we're at a wash at this point.
we were going smaller. We're going a 6'9", 240 LeBron style power forward.
The unicorn mid.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm shooting the best from 3 I've ever shot. It's been about 70%. Just had a game that wasn't great, but was in the theater today. We won 5 straight. Having fun, just trying to work on some techniques so I'm a better player for next year.
Yeah.
And starting to think about what do I want my first build to be. do I want to lean into certain things? What am I good at? And I think the thing that I'm best at is getting open and making threes. But I'm getting better at like steals. I'm getting like, you know, point 0.6 steals a game, which is up from point 0.2 steals a game.
Yeah.
And I'm like hawking the ball more in theater. And I used to have my steal on 25 because I wasn't even worried about it. And now, like, I care about perimeter defense and steal and all those things. So, slowly but surely, it was actually just about a year ago that we started talking about doing Rise Above 2K, and I was just starting to get serious about the game. So, got to give myself a little bit
Well,
of a
and it's
break. It's really only been a year.
well, and being in the down cycle is the perfect time to not take things too seriously, to play around with different stuff, to kind of make the game more of an enjoyable experience because you know that once the next game drops, it's back to the grind. So, like, you might as well take the time to just do some fun stuff in the game, get the joy back before you kill the joy out of it as soon as you start grinding away at the next edition. Because I know what it's going to be like when that game drops for you. And the good news is we'll be here to chronicle it because that's what we do just about every week. So if you like hearing about 2K, breaking down the game, but also everything NBA, like and subscribe because we're not going away. Even if we don't have content to talk about, we'll just do World Cup coverage. It'll be fine. There's going to be something here. We're going to be wearing Shoddy's jerseys. Okay, Unicorn Big's not going to do any World Cup coverage.
My
He'll update us with what's happening with the Open Championship
We'll have
over
to
in the
sub in Dave. We'll sub in
yeah.
Dave.
Dave will be here. He'll definitely not be glassy eyed, but he will give us the
The
other
the
hard hitting
unicorn
takes.
Dave.
Yes, exactly. That's great. I'm excited that you're finding some joy in the game. And for everyone out there who's still grinding out, like, dude, it's the down cycle. Go have some fun, hang out with your friends, just do some arcade mode, do some story mode, do something that brings you joy. Because we got a big grind ahead of us, and everyone should be topped off for it. Um,
Yeah, I think we're like maybe 2.5 months from early release.
mhm.
So they'll announce the game and some updated features in the next month, probably. So we're getting close. And it's crazy to think like we're this far in the down cycle. And this is when Rise Above 2K started
Yep.
last year.
Yeah.
So see how far we've come since then. We've gone from one viewer to six. I mean, we are
Yeah,
going
I mean,
naughty.
we're duplicating like over we're yeah, I mean it's exponential what's happening here. So if you're enjoying it, like, subscribe. You can hear more jokes like this that only you will hear. And if you want us to throw in your favorite catchphrase, just put it in the comments. We won't have a problem fitting that in somewhere. Um the finals start, well, by the time this episode comes out tonight. And we want to do a little finals preview for you because it's just so exciting. The Knicks for the first time since 99, the Spurs the first time since last weekend. Um, Spurs going for their third in since I was in high school, or fourth since I was in high school, whatever it is. And the Knicks for the first time since the 60s or whatever. New York is at a crazy fever pitch around this team. They've won 11 straight and 12 of 14 through the playoffs. Like, and none of them are close. Like, the games they lost, obviously they lost, but they're winning by 20 and 30 points every single time I think the last game they won by 15 or 20 points in overtime. Like, it's a scoring clinic, it's a defensive clinic. What are you seeing out of the Knicks that points to potential trouble for the Spurs?
Look, I think 1 through 9, they are super talented. They probably, I don't think that they're they're more skilled in the center position, obviously, but they're
Right.
going to be way more willing to go double big on us than we're going to go double big because we're just going to run the hell out of Wemby and play Cornet maybe 2 or 3 minutes a quarter. I
Yeah.
think Jalen Brunson, when he gets hot, is better than any guard on the
Are they
on.
t are they too dependent on Brunson for scoring? because
Maybe
Brunson can get shut down by this Spurs team.
he
And then
can.
it's Anunoby or Hart
Or Bridges.
and Bridges, yeah. But Brunson is a pretty consistent lead scorer. Like he's a regular 30-point guy, and the Spurs can lock that down.
Yeah,
They can even
so
bring him into the 20s. They did it to SGA. They can do it to Brunson.
I think that Brunson is like far and away better than Fox, Castle, or Harper.
Okay.
But I also think that collectively that they're better at the guard position than New York. So I'm going to give the slight nod to the Spurs when it comes to the guard position. Um, and when it comes to outside shooting, I'm going to give it a little bit of a nod to the Spurs just because Julian Champagnie
Yeah.
was a madman. Um,
Unbelievable. Just on I can't believe that he was ostensibly let go for nothing. And then he just finds his way to the Spurs. The Spurs
undrafted, pretty
just
sure.
luck into these players all the time.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
all work.
So how hot does Brunson get? How good do they shut him down? And how well does this Spurs 3-point shooting stay? Like I, so that's kind of like where I'm at with the Knicks. Also, too, like how well does Cat do of shutting down Victor Wembanyama?
Yes.
That's going to be key. And do they let him, is he going to post up? Is he going inside? Is he staying on the perimeter? Is Cat prepared to play perimeter defense on him? Right. So there's a lot a lot for the Knicks, but they have been super impressive. I mean, I can't say much more than that. But I do hate the Knicks.
Okay, so I hate the Knicks too. These last 11 games have been a historic scoring pace in terms of just outscoring your opponents in 11 straight games in NBA history, not just in the postseason, regular season included, where you're playing just absolute slobs. Like this pace of winning is completely unheard of. And I want to go back to Cat because he has been consistently leading the team in rebounds in these playoff games. Like he is playing incredible defense. And I know that there's obviously a size discrepancy with everyone with Victor, but if there's going to be a chance for this to work, just slowing Victor down and forcing the offense to go through other areas is probably going to be their best point. But with that, I want to flip it over to the Spurs. And I'm thinking like, oh, well, Wemby, you got to shut down Wemby, you got to shut down Wemby. Wemby's only led the team in points 8 of 18 games this postseason. Like this is a true all-around shooting team. Everyone's getting baskets. You've had Castle, you've had Fox, you've had Harper, you've had various people lead the team in points on any given night in the playoffs. I don't know that the Knicks have enough defense to shut down that many people who on their given night are going to run away with it.
That's kind of where my head's at. If the Spurs play all around good basketball like they have, I have a hard time seeing how the Knicks have enough pieces to beat the Spurs. Just because, like I said, I mean, their third guard is an all rookie player who has gone from in the beginning of the
Yeah.
season
Yeah.
to he ended up getting on the all rookie team. And now, especially those 2 games Fox was out, that first game, I mean, Dylan Harper is
Yeah.
just becoming an insanely good basketball player. Probably
Agreed.
why Fox is down the road next year, but we'll see about that. We don't need to get
Well,
into that yet.
not yet. No, we've got all off
Um,
season for that one.
and they don't need all their players to be hot at once to beat these guys. I mean, Fox he had a good game the last game, but other than that, he was pretty bad during the Western Conference Finals, and the rest of the team picked it up. So,
Yep.
and then
Fox did now to be fair, Fox did a decent job in distributing and defending. He just wasn't on the score sheet the
sure,
same way.
and then we look at Wimby, right? Like he's
Yeah.
the ultimate X factor.
And he wants it, man.
He
I've never
wants it
seen
so
someone
bad.
like so driven because Brunson's just like, yeah, the next one. Like we're on to the next one. Like everything's cool. Wemby's like emotionally invested in like, I want this.
And let's not forget, this guy is 22 years old.
I know.
He hasn't even filled
I know.
out his body yet.
No.
Um, but he's the X factor, and here's why. Take away all of his points.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is he gonna do to change the game of New York's offense? Because I've watched games against teams like the Pistons this
Mm-hmm.
year, or teams
Yep.
like the Knicks, and your inside game is changed. Every shot that you can take against a normal 6'9" to 7 foot center is changed because not only is he 7'5", he has an 8 foot wingspan. So
Yes.
like he's
It's
gonna
unreal.
he's gonna stand in that paint and he's gonna shut things down. So like you know you're gonna get that from him every single possession. The question is, does he score 25, 30, 35, 40 points and
Right.
get 15 rebounds? If
Right.
he's on his A game all series, the Spurs run away with this.
He went 39-15 at Minnesota this playoffs. Like, and that's not a slouch team. Like the things that he can do on any given night when he's like, all right, we're just gonna lay waste to this game. I
I
think there
think
are.
go
Go ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
What I was gonna say is the big key for to look for is does Wimby make 2 out of his first 3 pointers?
Always back to the early
Because
3-pointers. Yeah.
when he does that, the Spurs win every single game. And if you look and you pay attention to how that series in OKC went, it was
Yes.
basically like OKC had to catch up almost every single game because the Spurs were going up a lot and they just got they just couldn't overcome those early deficits. So if the Spurs get hot, Wimby goes hot from 3 at the beginning, or the Spurs stay hot at the beginning from 3 and they go up 10, 15 points in the first quarter, and that's the first game, I won't give my prediction yet, but I'm feeling good
So
about the Spurs'
I
chances.
I have two things I want to bring up before we get into prediction. One that leads directly into it. But the first one is for the Spurs. You've got Portland, okay. Minnesota's a great team. Oklahoma City's the defending champion. That's a path to get to the finals. Meanwhile, you've got the Knicks that did Atlanta, which was their hardest series. Sweep Philly, sweep Cleveland. Is there something to the Knicks getting fat on what the East is versus what the Spurs had to handle out West?
Maybe. I mean, I think there's been all
I mean,
this
they didn't
talk
have to
about.
run into Orlando, which would have been the kingmaker. As it, for our loyal listeners would know, my favorites in the East would have totally just destroyed this narrative. But
Well, let's look at it this way. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh, well, the Knicks have had a ton of time off, so is that a good or a bad
eh,
thing?"
I mean,
I don't think it really matters much. I think what matters is this: is that the Spurs, literally, you're watching that team from game 1 to game 7 get better,
yep,
and
yep,
you're watching the Knicks just lay slaughter, right? But are they necessarily getting better? They're just beating teams that they're
yeah,
better
that
than.
are just falling apart at
So
weird times.
what the Spurs did is, I think the Spurs beat the team that everyone thought was going to win the title this year.
Correct.
And nobody has pegged the Knicks besides hardcore Knicks fans. So that makes up most of the national
Right.
media.
Well, they were
But
supposed to lose to Orlando. They just didn't run into each other
yeah,
in the
so I mean,
playoffs.
the Pistons, the Celtics, the Cavs,
The
they
Cavs,
they
yeah,
were all
yep,
all looking like better picks than the
than the
Knicks.
Knicks, yep,
But
yep,
that
and
being
then
said, I mean the Knicks have been on a run, and the Spurs fans singing that we're gonna sweep. I
eh.
don't think that that's gonna happen.
Okay, so but when we're gonna go into predictions, but talking about the sweep, I think Madison Square Garden is going to be not just like metaphorically, it's literally going to be on fire by the time that the Spurs take the court. But that's 2 games in. Do you think that like not having that MSG presence for the first 2 games is going to make a difference in this series? Because if it started in New York, I could see this starting very poorly for the Spurs, but that's not what's happening. we're gonna be in San Antonio. It's gonna be home cooking, and
Yeah.
we've basically been local for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I have a ton to say on home court advantage, and how much it matters, but I really see this somehow, and I'm starting to get into predictions, but
No.
I
Well, let's
I
get into it. Let's get
I
into it.
re-
What are you thinking?
I really see the Spurs splitting both of the first two games.
Okay.
Um, Madison Square Garden, I think they go into 1-1, and I think Victor's eyes light up,
Yeah.
and I think he
Yeah.
gets into Madison Square Garden, the mecca of basketball, and says, "Look, it's gonna be time."
So,
And
yeah.
I think they're gonna go back to San Antonio, 2-2. And I think Wimby's gonna wear them out from that point, and I think that the Spurs take care of this thing in 6.
So I agree with. So I think the Spurs are going to win both home games to start. But I think that Monday night game at Madison Square Garden is going to be out of control, and that's where they're going to lose one. Then I think it kicks back in. They win out 3, or they win out 4 or 5, and it's done. Like I honestly think that the Knicks have played substandard teams throughout the playoffs, and that's why they're setting up NBA record numbers. I think the Spurs have had a gauntlet, especially going 7 against OKC. And when we got done with that series, we weren't like, oh, they just won it in the last game. Like, no, it's making people, like, I listen to sports radio all week, and it's just like, does OKC have to rebuild? Like, when that's people's impression coming out of the series, that means you've done something significant. Even if it took 7 games to do it, you've done something that's making people doubt the blueprint. That is a hell of a series, and that sets you up to be ready, to be resilient. I swear Madison Square Garden's literally going to be on fire.
Yeah,
The get in price is like
it's
$4,000. Like, it's
crazy.
insane.
It's crazy.
It's going to be wild.
Well,
And I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait.
also too, like, sure, the Knicks are the more experienced team, but the Spurs have gained a ton of experience this playoffs.
Yes.
And can we just stop for a second and just look at this team?
Mm-hmm.
Take away De'Aaron Fox and take away Harrison Barnes. I mean, even leave in Fox. I'm, like, those guys are so young. I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
Harper,
Yep.
Castle,
Yep.
Wimby,
Yep.
like these
Olynyk.
guys are these guys are so young. They're
Yes.
so young. And
Yes.
like those young legs, I think, are gonna make a difference.
I think so. I think so,
And
man.
X Factor, Mitchell Robinson's playing with a broken pinky.
That's gonna cause some issues. I mean, you don't have to guard him. He's not gonna shoot. So what do we do? What do we do from there? Just double up someone else. It'll be fine.
So
Yes, it's gonna be a very exciting series. By the time you're listening to this, it'll be later this evening. So we wanted to get this out as just a quick preview that was almost 30 minutes. And so you've got them in 7 or 6,
it's 6.
and I've got them in 5. I got them losing that Monday night, that first game in Madison Square Garden, and then Wemby just goes into overdrive and takes it home. So, my predictions are always wrong, so don't put any stock in mine. If you're going to go to the sports book or whatever, go with Unicorn Bigs, not mine. I'll get you better juice, but he'll actually get you the win.
My question is this, Gax.
Yeah.
If the Spurs win this championship,
Are we going to the parade?
I'm gonna go to the parade.
Let's
If
see,
I'm
because
in
that's
town, I might be
that's
out of town actually, but
that's not that
if they
expensive.
win this when Wimby's 22 and Castle's 21 and Harper's 20, how many championships are they going to win?
So
I
something
mean,
interesting about that, we haven't had a championship winner go to the finals the following year
it's been
in
like
quite
7 or 8 years.
in quite some time, and we haven't had a repeat champion in even longer than that. And when you think about, like, when the Celtics won, you're like, oh my God, they're going to win this every year. When the Nuggets won, you're like, oh, they're going to win it every year. When Giannis won, you're like, this guy's going to take over the league. The league always surprises us. But one thing that doesn't surprise over the last 20, 25 years, the Spurs are always good. So, like, we're not doing a sympathetic podcast. No one's tuning into this to be like, oh, those plucky Spurs, they've never been trouble in my life. No, the Spurs win all the time. So we're like hoping that Popovich fans pick up this podcast as like just some more amp up before we get started. But for everyone else in the world, I think they're rooting for the Knicks. So this is going to be a really popular podcast.
Not to mention, I am friends with Manu Ginobili now.
Yes. Did he give you any insight on the finals and like what his thoughts were?
He looked at me.
That's you gotta take that moment. That's gonna go on your obituary, man. Ginobili looked at me when we were at a restaurant and I was too afraid to say hi. Awesome. I love it. All right. So we got the Spurs in 5 or 6 or 7. I don't know. They're gonna win the whole damn thing and they're gonna win it for years to come. Really exciting. But if you want to get some gear, there's still time before at least the end of the group stage of the World Cup to order a kit from Shotties. Information and Instagram is in the description below. Send them a DM, player, number, third kit from 1997, whatever it is. They find a way. It's very affordable, shipped directly to your home. Tell them Galaxy Unicorn Big sent you. All the love to Shotties. Make sure you support them. And yeah, go Spurs go, right?
Go Spurs go.
All right, we'll do some updates throughout the finals, but here's your preview. Go Spurs go, and we'll talk to you next time.
See you guys.